This week on BeautiesTalkingBusiness.com, we are talking about how to conduct a proper consultation and why it's important with your hosts, AnDrea Pettingill at Shine with Drea and JennyAHansen at JennyAHansen. Let's get started.
Hello, you are watching BeautiesTalkingBusiness.com with your co-host JennyAHansen and AnDrea Pettingill at Shine with Drea and at JennyAHansen. You can also join our email list and find us at BeautiesTalkingBusiness.com. And today we are going to be talking about how to do a proper consultation with your client and why it's important.
I love it. Hello. I'll say hello too. I am excited about this topic, and I want to tell you why, because a lot of times I get new clients that come in that will complain about what was wrong with their old, the last time they got their nails done, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think to myself, I wonder if they told that last nail tech the same things that they're telling me right now.
Interesting.
Because I think a lot of problems will be solved with better communication with our clients. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely.
And your client comes in and feels more free to tell you all the things they didn't like because you're a brand new person. Whereas they might have felt like, oh, they might offend you if, but if you're not asking the questions, they can't give you the answer of like, how do you like it, your nails or whatever.
Exactly. So. And sometimes they don't really know how to express what they're trying to express, like what their style they like or what they, and so you really have to ask. And one of the biggest things that I learned, which I think should be our first tip, is to ask open-ended questions.
Oh, yes.
So what's a good example of an open-ended question, Drea?
So
like me just saying, what's a good example of an open-ended question is an open-ended question.
It is. So just to go back to basics, is it's not going to be like, do you want your nails rounded? That's a yes or no. Do you want, instead of, you would say, what's your favorite nail shape and why do you like it?
Exactly.
It gives them the more ways and angles that they can answer the question, the more you can really see what they're saying, like read between the lines of how they actually what they actually like, because they might not have the verbiage, like you do to explain that they want a swivel nail. They might say, well, I want them, squared, but I don't want them, and they might not be able to explain that.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. I'm trying to think of another thing that I do in a consultation that is huge is I think that in nail school we learn, ask them about their lifestyle or what they do for work. Well, I don't ask that question directly because I've found that sometimes with maybe more discerning clientele that it can be offensive because you don't want someone to come in and say, well, do you have kids? What's your lifestyle like and what job? Because they might be like, I can't get pregnant. I've never had a child in my life. Thanks for bringing that up. I don't work and my husband's super rich and I get my nails done every week. You know what I mean? Like that can be offensive. You don't want someone to be like, well, I don't have a job and I don't have kids and I don't do a lot other than shop and get my nails done.
So my opinion on that is that that's pretty outdated because that used to be important. But now I'll have clients that have the same job and one of them says, well, because of my work, I have to have my nails short. And another will say, well, because of my work, I want my nails long because that's how I like to type. Like that's the same job. And it's just the way that the person is. So it's more important about like their personality, I think. And like, you know what I mean?
And finding out some hobbies too, are they in water a lot or gardening or things like that, but asking it in a way that's respectful, that doesn't make them feel disrespected in any way. Yeah. So that's a huge thing. And I actually learned this lesson a very hard way because I was doing a pedicure on a woman and said, so how many kids do you have? Just totally naive. And she unfortunately couldn't have children and didn't have any. And that really, it made her feel horrible to have to go into that conversation, which granted, those are her things as much as mine, my mistake. But that was a big slap in the face learning moment for me to never assume anything about anybody. And
I love the question, tell me about ... because it gives them the space to go wherever they want to take it instead of like cutting off your question,
yes,
like tell me about your family, then they can go wherever they want instead of like, do you have a family or not? You know what I mean? So.
Right. Exactly. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Another good thing about having a really good consultation, I feel, is that I tend to, what length do you prefer? What shape do you prefer? Do you have a nail right now that's your favorite length or shape right now at the moment? Like, what's your favorite nail? And they'll be like, oh, well, I never thought of that, but, and they're like, I like this one. I like, this is my favorite one, and then I'll also ask them what style they tend to be more drawn to. Do you prefer nudes, brights, pinks, darks, reds? And then that gives me an idea too of what kind of style they're leaning towards, or if they like things that are more classic, like a classic French or pink and white. And then again, they just open up and tell you everything. And another big part of the consultation is really examining their nails too. Don't you think?
Yeah, because the more like you look at like what is, for example, like when they came back in and what they've done to their nails.
That tells you everything. It tells
people are pickers. Yeah. And some people, like, you can just tell what they've been doing and or what they've tried to like cover up from you.
Right. And where they're, maybe they pick at a certain area, or if they have like a certain nail that's their stress nail, or which is sometimes the ring finger, or, you can tell those, that you can tell those things. But I feel like too, sometimes if someone's nails even look good, I won't just jump right into work. Like I will, put hand sanitizer, wash, hand sanitizer, and say, yeah, so tell me a little bit about your nails, and, tell me about what you loved about the last time you got your nails, or what you didn't like and what you're going for. Again, those open-ended questions. And then if they have enhancements, I will pick up their hands. I will like examine the nail from every angle. And it's a little bit, I need to know, and I'll see if they're loose or lifting. And it's slightly theatrical, but in the sense that I'm also showing them that I am in it. Does that make sense?
Like educating the client too on like, oh, I see that like the thickness is a little heavy right here. Like, is that how you like it? Or is that just how it ended up last time? Like, can we like make that something that's more like, for example, I had a client come in, a brand new customer, and she was telling me all about how the nails were way too thick for her last time she got them done, and from a previous nail tech, and then that they were always too long, and she'd always go home and shorten them. And I was like, okay, well, I want you to leave with your nails the way you want them. And like, it took us a couple appointments for her to really understand that, because by the time she'd get done, she'd be like, I could tell they were still too long for her because of the way she kept like kind of looking at them. So asking the right questions when they look at their nails, and making them feel comfortable to like tell you, even if it's repeatedly, like they might say, I want them a little shorter. And then you can say, okay, do you want them a little shorter than that? Like, and really press them for explanation, because they just might be embarrassed to ask again. Like and it was one of those things with her that it took again and again for me to figure out that she wants me to like completely
as short as you can,
out of her nails,
right?
Otherwise she will try doing it herself at home, right? And I don't want my clients to have to mess with their nails at all.
No, none of us do. Another thing too is I'll start with the pinky, and I or when they come in, and I'll also examine, okay, we can take it looks like we can take some of the thickness off here. We can narrow them so they have a little more of a natural look. And then it shows your professionalism, your expertise. It lets them know that you know what you're talking about, and that it like puts in their mind a good expectation that they're going to get a good service because you're already taking the time to do the consultation. And I think it's an important tip is to do a consultation before every single appointment, even if you've been doing the same client for 5 years. And it doesn't have to be as extensive as the first time, but to still ask the questions. Are we staying with the usual? Are we just removing what grew out? You know, are we short? You know, what color are you feeling today? Oh, your usual. Okay. But to just verify and let them have a voice is huge too.
Yeah. And it's nice to, like, when they come back in and like to really see where they're at with their personality and what's going on for them at that time. Cause you might think, oh, this is like a reds person, but you can just throw out there things about the trends and things about the seasons that you're in to kind of see if they really are going to like, cause some people don't abide by trends at all. And they just want to do certain colors, and you might assume too much about someone and kind of pick a color or whatever they want to do. Because a lot of times, especially as creative nail techs, they'll be like, oh, do whatever you want. Oh, and I just go, oh my gosh, like that is too huge. You got to narrow it down for me. Yeah. And so I'll pick from their outfit. I'm like, oh, it looks like you're wearing turquoise today. Like, should we pull from that? Like, you know what would go good with turquoise? This would go good. Do you know what I mean? And so you can really get
yeah, Drea, that's so smart. I never thought to really look at their outfit or their shoes or accessories. That is really smart.
It says a lot about like when a woman is sitting there with their closet, like what they're gonna grab. It's like where they're at right then. And so like to really pull from those ideas can help you out a lot with what you're doing in your design work.
Yes. Oh, that's excellent tip. I love it. Love it so much. Well, you guys, that was just our quick little how to do a proper consultation. And hopefully you got some good tips on this and it can help you in the future. Again, I'm going to edit in like tip 1, 2. Do you have any other points to add?
No, I just really wanted to encourage those of you, I'm sure had some ideas come up as we were talking that maybe we didn't get to answer. So we would love to do another consultation video for you guys. So that go ahead and submit some questions about it, and we'll do another one and we'll answer some other questions for you guys. So you can submit questions on the Facebook group page on facebook.com/Beauties Talking Business. And let us know. That'd be awesome.
Yes. Or over on the website at beautiestalkingbusiness.com. If you go to the contacts tab, there's a form and you could just submit anything on the form there as well. Or comment below on this video is in the blog post. So hopefully that was really helpful. And to go over those tips again, ask open-ended questions. Make sure that you don't assume anything, that you're reassuring with your clients and knowing that they are really getting the service that they want. Also educating them, make sure you look professional. And, I was going to say, I'll start on the pinky. I'll get the length and the shape and have them like approve it. And then once they're like, yep, that's perfect, then I'll move on and do all the other.
Oh yeah, that's definitely how I always do it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't want to like ask every nail because that just would take up too much time. But that was so good. And we hope you guys enjoyed this little shorter episode of beautiestalkingbusiness.com. And you know where to find us. We appreciate you guys so much. I'm Jenny and
I'm AnDrea Pettingill. And we just want to invite you guys back next week. And we hope that you go and shine today.
Yes. Oh, and we will be posting videos every Wednesday. We have committed. We have decided every Wednesday a new video.
That's going to be the golden day.
Yep. So make sure you're on the email list too. All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
We hope that you enjoyed this week's episode on how to conduct a proper consultation with your host, AnDrea Pettingill at Shine with Drea and JennyAHansen at JennyAHansen. Please remember that if you want to see a part 2 of this episode, that you will head on over to beautiestalkingbusiness.com or over on the Facebook group Beauties Talking Business and submit your question. Lots of love and enjoy. Bye.